So anyway, yesterday I played Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti, and Mickey Ward in the fifth got a flash KO with a 4-4-4-4. So Mickey Ward was losing this fight to Arturo Gatti and dropped him cold in the fifth round. So that was excellent. Marciano fight was brutal. Marciano came out just dropping bombs, knocked him down in the second. He got then Jersey Joe committed a headbutt, suffering a point loss. And then in the fourth round, he suffered a gash over his right eye. Both of these TKO checks failed. And then Marciano pummeled him for another 3 or 4 rounds. We got to his stamina quickly. So version 4 has added a stamina buster. So Jersey Joe in round 7 was already making a TKO check for stamina, as well as had to make stamina buster rolls. And then in the 7th round, he makes his stamina buster roll. He commits another foul, holds and hits, so another 3 points lost. This was a good round for him. He might have won this round, 18-18. If he hadn't done this, it would have been a tie round. Anyway, but he suffered that TKO, and that was it. So Marciano just beats the snot out of Walcott. Walcott commits a couple of fouls early, as he must have been frustrated, felt he couldn't do anything. And Marciano wins a TKO stoppage in the 7th in this heavyweight 12-rounder. Unbelievable. So I had 2 fights yesterday, and tried to record them, actually. And unfortunately, my camera did not. Again, I have to remember to look for the little red dot, and I obviously missed it. So I thought I recorded those fights, and it didn't happen. So we're going to do another fight this morning here. And I just don't know who I'm going to fight. I kind of like... let's see here. How about... Larry Holmes, baby. My man, Holmes. One of my favorite boxers of all time. I talked about this before. My favorite middleweight of all time, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. My favorite boxer, really, of all time is Aguero. Alexis Aguero. And, of course, Marciano, I believe, is the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I talk a lot about the fact that Larry Holmes was really my favorite heavyweight. I watched a lot of Holmes growing up. So when you get to see a boxer, you tend to have an affinity for them when you get to watch them. Yeah. All right, so Larry Holmes looks pretty good. He's a 98.5. And this is what I love about Kevin's game. It's not subjective. It's the most objective rated boxing game, and therefore I think a very accurate game. And it's a quick play game, which is also really, really fun. All right, we're going to fight him against, let's see here. Let's fight him against Martin Bacoli. Nah, how about Michael Grant? Let's see here. Who could we fight him against? How about Oscar Rivas? Yeah, let's do Oscar. And Oscar is a 99 overall. So he's actually going to be a half a point better. We're going to do a 10-round bout. 10-round heavyweight. Holmes, and so we're looking at, what is that, half a point? Yeah, half a point. So I'll divide that by 10 rounds. He's really not going to get a bonus. So this is not big enough. We can round it up to 1. So in the first round, he's going to get 1 point bonus. That's it. That's how close these two are matched up. So that's awesome. Oscar Rivas also is a stamina. We're going 10 rounds, so 115. So we're going to put 115 here for Oscar. And Larry Holmes is 115. Look at that. These guys are really right. Unbelievable how close these guys are. Let's look at Holmes' knockout, though. Holmes' knockout rate is 58.6. 58.6 KO. And, of course, Oscar Rivas is 67.8% KO rate. Awesome as heck. And that's it. That's all we need to start throwing leather around. Fantastic. So this group of boxers, it's quite a few. I couldn't tell you how many, but it's 13 pages of historic boxers. It's about 11 pages of rules with charts. And then you've got a couple of rules charts here. I love the way he does these charts too, so it's pretty intuitive once you know what you're looking at. So how does this game work? You're going to roll. We're going to roll for each boxer to score points per round. However, these dice can come up in a pattern, and that pattern can dictate something special, like 3 of a kind, double doubles, 4 in a row. If any of those things happen, we're going to be going to a list and looking to see what that means, right? But as it is, we're just rolling to add them up. So Holmes, round 1, Holmes is going to get 3, 4, 4, 5. So no pattern here that we need to worry about. 9, 13, 16 for Holmes. All right. So Holmes looks really good the opening round. Oh, look at this. We're going to get 10, 21. So again, we're going to note 20. However, he technically scored 21 for points because that 20 is added against Holmes's 115. So 21, and that's going to give Rivera the round. And I will put here, I'm just going to put here 9, 10 for Holmes, against Holmes. And then I'll get the other 2 judges later. But I'm going to make a note of who wins the round by points. So Oscar Rivas is winning. Holmes had a good round, but not enough. Now, Oscar's advantage is gone for the remainder of the fight. So now it's literally toe-to-toe, 2 heavyweights trying to win this fight. Here we go. Holmes is going to get, let's see here, he's going to get 10, 11. And Rivas is going to score 11, 16. So Rivas now winning 2, 9, 10. Wow, 3rd round about to go down. Holmes got to start doing something. Holmes. It's going to be, dang, 10 for Holmes. He's getting worse. And Oscar, of course, is, oh, good. 8, 9, 10 for him. So we're going to tie. There we go. Round 4. Round 4 is 10, 15, 18. Holmes has a big round. That should hold him. And Oscar's going to go 12, 13, 14, 15. So finally, Holmes is going to start getting going here in the 4th. So he gets a round there in the 4th. Round 5. Here we go. Holmes. Nobody's done anything special yet. 10, 14, 15, 16. Now I'm going to have to start watching this stamina now too. 16. 10, 15. Holmes is going to win that one. Wow, that was close. 10, 9. So Holmes has won back-to-back rounds. So it started out for Rivas, then they tied, and now it's been Holmes for 2. We're at 6. Let me double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 84, 65, 71. So we still got a ways to go before Oscar Rivas is effective. 20, 36, 46, 76. Still got a ways to go. So neither boxer is a threat of what's called stamina buster. Holmes goes to work. Uh-oh. 4, 5, 6. Oh, he needed this to be a 3 and it isn't, but he's going to score 20 points. Holmes is definitely coming into his rhythm here in the 6th round. Oscar Rivas is going to be 4, 4, 6, 2. So 10, 16. What a fight, folks. But Holmes has now won 3 straight rounds. Larry Holmes looking good. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3. Dang it, he needed that to be a 4. It's not. 6, 7, 8, 9. Dang, bad round. Holmes, what's going on? Rivas might be doing something here. 4, 5, 2, 1. Dang, they needed a 3 in there to get 4 in a row. Let's see here. So we're going to get 9, 10, 11, 12. And look at this. Round 7 in a 10-round bout goes to Rivas. Rivas. I think it's Rivas, but here we go. 8. 8 is going to be 10, 11 for Holmes. Man, they're both looking like they've punched themselves out here. Yeah, look at this. 11, 12 by 1 point. Rivas is going to steal round 8. It looks like Rivas is going to win this. Round 9. Holmes, you've got to knock him out. Nope, it's going to be 10 for Holmes as he is tired. So Holmes fought hard in the middle, and then it's as if some fatigue set in, or Oscar Rivas may have changed his fight style. 11 and 4 is 15. Oh, dang it. Holmes is now going to probably lose this fight. And we got 4, 5, 6, and 1. Dang it, 11 and 6 is 17. 11 and 5 is 16. Good round in the 10th for Holmes. It looks like it's going to go the distance, guys. And then we're going to get 10, 19, and there it is, another 10-9. Now let's go ahead and look at the other judges. We didn't have one event, nor did they run out of stamina. Unbelievable. We didn't have a special outcome. We didn't have an event. That's pretty crazy to not have one. So I dig that. Here's our knockout chart. We didn't have a TKO check. We didn't have a foul. We didn't have an injury. We didn't hit our stamina thing. Where are our judges? Here we go. Based on total points scored in the fight, that'll be the blue judge. So again, total points I've already done. So this is technically what I've been tracking, total points, right? So judge 1. White judge, round base, boxer earns 10-9 round with a higher score, 10-8 for cuts, 10-7 for multiple KDs, 10-10 for tied rounds. I kind of did that. Judge Brown, round base with a twist, reroll all rounds that are within 5 points with a 2 6-sided die. A tie cannot change the round score. Holy cow. So 2 through 5 and 12 would reverse the opponent. So if they're within 5, which is every single round. So right now we've got Judge 1. That would be Oscar Rivas for mostly. Well, Judge 1 would ultimately have it exactly as I've tallied it here. So let's say Judge 1's going to have it. Judge 2's going to have it for Rivas based on these numbers. And then I got a roll for anybody within 5. Holy cow. So let's get this straight. So Holmes has got 1, 2, 3. Holmes won 3 rounds. And lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he lost 3-6. Right? Holmes. I'm just going to put Holmes here so it's not confusing anybody but me. And we're going to get almost exactly the same for Judge, but we didn't have any knockdowns, we didn't have any cuts, we didn't have any multiples. We did have a 10-10 round. So again, Judge 2 would put it 3-6. Right, so now what I'd want to do is roll for Judge to see if he reverses any of these 5-point rounds. He does. So he reverses the first one. So Judge 3, he's got 1 for Holmes. This is within 5. This is not a reversal, so that's going to go to Rivas, right? The third round is Judge 2 through 5. No, he doesn't reverse it. Judge 4, 11 does not reverse it. Judge 5, 12 reverses that. That actually hurts Holmes as that's reversed this way. So Holmes is technically down to only 2 rounds winning right now. 6th round reverses it. Wow. So the third judge really likes so far what Rivas is doing. Round, that was round 6. Should have been round 6. Round 7 is not going to reverse. And going to reverse round 8 in behalf of Holmes. And he's going to reverse round 10 on behalf of Holmes. So Judge 3 saw some things clearly differently. And then the final round, 4, he's going to see this in, oh wow, so that's going to change. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to get 4 to 5. No, yeah, because they tied around 4 to 5. So still, it's going to be a majority decision. No, all 3 round judges. This is going to be unanimous decision win for Oscar Rivas. So Oscar Rivas takes it to Holmes. He had a half-point advantage. He got that early, and then went to work. And that was still within 5, so I had to roll a check. So I had to. This fight was so close. I had to roll a check on every single fight. There was no round that either boxer had more than 5 points. That is how close this was. Unbelievable. This is no doubt there will be a follow-up fight. This is brilliant. A unanimous decision win for Oscar Rivas. Holmes, Judge 1 gives it 6 rounds to 3 Rivas, 6 rounds to 3 Rivas for Judge 2, and 5 rounds to 4 Rivas. Now again, he says point totals, so we could just tally the points. That would be Judge 1. But again, there are more points for Rivas, so I know that. And then Judge 2 would use the 10-9 must system, so he would grade it, 100 and this might be 96 to 75 round points, whatever. And then Judge 3, we just go through and reverse. We rolled a check to see if he'd reverse any of those outcomes. So I just did it a little faster here. I don't like trying to tally up those 10 rounds. But there you have it, folks. That is, in my opinion, one of the strongest tabletop boxing games on the planet. I prefer this to just about any other boxing game out there except my own now. I prefer this for replay boxing because I do believe, I've said it already, where's my stuff? What Kevin has done here, using objective formula to rate all boxers, and I find it hard to disagree with the ratings. But what Kevin has done using objective formula to provide the weight of a boxer through his career, as opposed to subjective ratings. I think Muhammad Ali should have the fastest hands in the game. I'm gonna give him a 10. Or whatever nonsense these boxing games, it's just too argumentative for me. And so that's why my boxing game is it's fictional. I don't try to rate. I mean, I did, but it's not what my game's about. I don't ever tout my games as replay games. But this is the most accurate, I think, way. And I actually like a faster playing game where we move through the rounds and we see the narrative unfold based on the points and based on any special roles. And then, of course, the highlight stuff that might occur. So this is really something that I would play a lot more now. When I first got it, I was still playing a lot of Legends of Boxing. I was playing a lot of Glory Days. I was playing a lot of Let's Rumble, which is still one of my all-time favorite boxing games. Let's Rumble was on my Desert Island list of games for 5 years, 6 years. Love Let's Rumble. Still love Let's Rumble. And again, those are faster playing games. You come up with a formula, you flip a card, or you roll the dice, and you check a table, and it tells you who scores points and if there's a cut. Or, this you roll and you add them up, and if it happens to be, 3 of a kind, if it happens to be 1-1-1, that's going to be a foul or cut or whatever. It's going to be a cut, and then you're going to roll to find out what kind of cut. And then you add them up for the score. So 6, 7, 8, 9. The guy would score 9, but he would score a cut against his opponent. And if there's a cut, you may have to make a TKO check. And it's fantastic. But really for me, the key is he's got a ton of boxers now. I mean, this is just 13 pages front and back. This is just 13 full pages. But he's got, I don't know how many more files of boxers that he's added or tweaked or new boxers that are coming into boxing, and some digging up old boxers. But I don't know how he gets his formula to rate them, but it is objective. It's using actual data versus making guesses. And because it is abstract, right? Because it's abstract, we don't have to really know the cut rate. How often did Jack Sharkey get cut in his career? Well, there is no data for that. So when a game tells me that Jack Sharkey's cut is lower than Floyd Patterson's, I have to scratch my head and say, how do you know that? I mean, how do you know Jack Sharkey was cut more than Patterson? Well, it's a guess. And, well, you said, well, Jack Sharkey lost more fights on TKO. Oh, so he must have been cut more. I don't know. I have no idea. He could have had both eyes swollen shut, whatever. So as I've aged into faster, more abstract games. I don't care if they're fictional or real. I don't mind if they're trying to be real. Obviously, my games attempt to be authentic to the sport, but not necessarily replay games. But I like them to be faster to play. I like them to have an ebb and flow, fun. I can see a narrative evolving. And I like them to be easy to actually play and adjudicate. And if you're going to tell me that it is based on real life, I want to see an objective thing that makes that true. My game, fictional franchise football, is completely objective. If a team averaged so many points a game, this is their chance of scoring 9. It's a 14 point, so they must be a team that averaged about 11 to 13 points a game. I don't remember what 4 goes into, but my point is, then it's going to be an accurate offense for the 1984 Colts, right? They get 4 dice or whatever, and when I roll that every week, and I'm going to subtract the opponents, +5 for the Miami Dolphins and or whatever, +5 for the New England Patriots in '84, whatever. That'd be 14 + 5. They score 19 points. It's objective. It's completely derived from the actual performance in the math, and it's all that is done is all that data is abstracted into a gambling device. There's no subjectivity to fictional franchise football. And if you notice, in my fictional game world of FFF, my teams are rated with a home point advantage. But you notice when I put out the formulas for people to rate any team in history, there is no home advantage, because it's, again, I would argue, unless you have how much a team scored at home and how much a team didn't score on the road, and you have all that data broken down for every single team in history, it's going to get subjective real quick. Right? Now, that doesn't say that in modern football, I can look and see that the Chiefs last year were 8-0 at home, and the Chiefs scored 32 points at home, and they gave up. And on the road, they only scored 27 points a game. I could come up with their home team advantage, but that data is not going to be available for every football sport or every era of football. So I'm not going to add home field. And the reason I do it in the FFF book for my fictional league is it's fictional. I can assign numbers to any of those teams for a home field advantage. So anyway, I got off the track here, but this would be, when it comes to real boxers wanting to replay real fights in history between boxers. This is my go-to game, 4 Dice Championship Boxing. Period, bar none. I mean, just looking at the fights that I've had, I hadn't played this in a couple of years, but, and I can't find the other sheet. Oh, here it is. I mean, this Marciano fight was glorious, dominated. Marciano's so much better than Walcott. He had +6 to every single round, so he was just pummeling him. But we saw Jersey Joe. I mean, this was full of action. Foul on Jersey, a foul on Jersey. His stamina checks came into play early because Marciano was pummeling him with points. It's just beautiful. His stamina buster rules have only been added in the last year, I think, and they're a fantastic addition. So it adds another piece to the game. And I'm assuming his stamina is, again, objective, meaning it's based on the actual number of rounds that he fought in his career. I hope, because hopefully this is not subjective, because nothing else was subjective. So I'm assuming that he counted up how many 8-round bouts, so to speak, that a fighter had in his career or something. Anyway, and then Mickey Ward was getting handled easily. Mickey Ward did win the second round here, but he was getting pummeled pretty good. He wasn't looking like he was going to win this fight, and then he got a flash KO on a roll of all fours. Bam, fight over. Mickey Ward dropped Arturo Gatti. There'll be a rematch of that junior welterweight bout. And then the one you've just watched, Holmes and Oscar Rivas in a duel, toe-to-toe. 2 big guys, punching away. You could see these guys are going to swing. They're going to be dropping some bombs, and then they're going to be holding each other, right? I mean, typical big guy, bang, 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 clinch. Bang, 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 clinch, right? So I could see Holmes and Oscar, at toe-to-toe at times. And then only Judge 3 throws a curveball and threatens, gives 2 of Holmes's original rounds away, but then later gives 3 rounds in a row to Holmes, which should have belonged to Rivas based on points. So something later in the fight, Judge 3 liked better out of Holmes. But earlier in the fight, he was obviously enjoying something Oscar was doing. So the third judge, kind of a jackass in this particular fight. However, he still gave it to Rivas. So unanimous decision win. And I wish these two had recorded properly, and you would have seen 3 completely different fights with identical system. You know, match up a grade and just drop 4 dice. And again, we get this KO flash win. We get this just loaded with TKO checks, foul checks. Rocky Marciano knocked him down once. He managed to get up, you know. And then, of course, this fight, which was just a glorious, perfectly matched up. 2 guys so well matched. And it goes to the wire. Comes down to the judges. It's just so good. So if we're talking about replay and you're talking about actually doing a tournament to decide who the greatest boxer in history is kind of thing, I would much recommend Kevin Elias' 4 Ice Championship Boxing. I'll be playing more of this on the channel. The problem is, my favorite boxing game, period now, as I've said, is my own boxing game. I play it more than I play any game outside of football. If I'm not playing football on my breaks, I'm playing boxing. And I absolutely love my own boxing game. It is why I wrote it is because there was no boxing game that did it the way I like to see boxing done. However, I make no bones by making it a career game where you create a boxer and I provide a bunch of fictional boxers. It's clear I'm not attempting to tell you that my game would be an accurate Rocky Marciano versus Jersey Joe fight. Mine is based on fiction, but it's a great boxing game. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.